Good morning. Today is Friday, October 9th, 2020. Today is Hoshana Rabbah. Tonight is the beginning of Shmini Atzeres for us outside of Israel, the two-day holiday. And tomorrow night, Saturday night, and Sunday, we celebrate Simchas Torah. What I want to share with you this morning is not exactly parallel to the situation that we face, but it's very, very close. And it holds an important lesson and hopefully inspiration for all of us, wherever we will be over this upcoming Yom Tov, especially on Simchas Torah. Chana Schneerson was the mother of the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. She was married to Rabbi Levi Yitzchak. And they lived in Russia in the 1930s. In 1939, Levi Yitzchak Schneerson was arrested by Stalin's government because they opposed his activities in promoting Torah learning and Jewish practice. He was arrested, as I said, in 1939. He was interrogated and tortured in Stalin's prisons. And then finally, he and his wife, Chana, were exiled to a distant village in Kazakhstan. And Chana Schneerson wrote about the experience of Simchas Torah that year when the two of them were living alone in exile in Kazakhstan. And here's the story that she tells. The day of Simchas Torah arrived. We did not have a Torah scroll. My husband and I were all alone in our room. The moment for the hakafos began. In the synagogue, the Torah scrolls are carried around the bima from which the Torah is read. But of course, we had no Torah, and the two of us, my husband and I, were alone. It is difficult for me to describe the splendor on the face of my husband when he began to chant in a loud voice the verses, the psukim that we say on Simchas Torah. Ata hareisa ladas. You have shown us to know that God is the Lord and there is none else beside him. He chanted the words of the verse in the same way he was accustomed to chanting them in our city's synagogue in the presence of hundreds of Jews. And in our synagogue with hundreds of Jews on Simchas Torah, it was not only the Jews who would dance every year in our city, but even the stones of the street would dance from the abundance of joy. It was this joy with which my husband girded himself here, alone, as well. He said every verse, and after every hakafa, he sang and he danced, all by himself, of course. Between our table and our bed, there was a small area where he danced around and around as he sang, Zach v'yashar Hoshiana, pure and upright one, deliver us. Anenu biyom karenu, answer us on the day that we call. On hearing these words, the feelings of his heart and his desire for pure joy were felt within himself. Yodea machashavos Hoshiana, the one who knows our thoughts, save us. I sat in a corner on a wooden bench and contemplated the greatness and awesome power of this man's love for Torah as he danced all 7 hakafos by himself. It's not exactly parallel to what we're going through, but the similarity is striking. On that Simchas Torah, Chana and Levi Yitzchak Schneerson were ostensibly alone, just as many of us, this Simchas Torah, will ostensibly be alone, without a Torah scroll, without a shul, without a minyan. They were almost without food. But they were not alone. The Torah was with them. God was with them. And therefore, joy was with them. And so may it be with us. I wish you this Yom Tov, simcha, joy, a different kind of joy, from different sources, but the joy of knowing that you and I are connected to the Torah and connected to God, and we will never be alone. Chag Sameach.